18 years, we've been incredible friends. For 19 years, we've never had one argument. We've had disagreements. For 19 years, and he's the only person I can say this about on the planet, he has never lied to me. Now that may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but for 19 years, you are literally the only person in business that I've known that long that has never lied to me. That's the owner of the company. You mark my words. You know, every day we read about history. Every day we want our kids to read about history. Every day we research. Every day we Google things that have gone down in history. But we often forget that every day history is also being written. History is being written right now on the stage. I promise you, I'm making it my personal goal to make you the wealthiest owner in the history of network marketing. And I'm not saying that because I want him to be filthy richer, is that a word? No richer than he is right now. I'm saying that because I know what he does for people. And I know if we empower him to rise to different levels and higher levels, I know what he's going to do for humanity. And I want to be a part of that. So officially, for the first time ever, this announcement hasn't been made. I am now in Boomerang.
Nice.
I want to say this publicly because there have been rumors. Holton Bugs has not offered me one dime above and beyond the compensation plan that you guys have access to. There's not been a sign-in bonus. There's not been no special favors. I don't have any ownership in this company. I wish I did, but I don't. And I'm open to the conversation. Whatever comes up. I have not asked him for one thing.
Wow.
Could I justify asking for something? Yes. But this is my best friend. And what you have put together super exceeds anything that I've ever seen in my life. And I stand before you right now as someone who currently is the number one, number two money earner in another travel company today. This year I made over $2 million in that company. Holton has coached me for years, defending that company. Telling me where I was wrong. Telling me I need to go apologize to the owners of that company, to the executives of that company. About 3 years ago, I was driving to this company and I was ready to bring down the hammer. It was him and Bishop T.D. Jakes personally made me turn my car around and go back home and wait out a storm. So not only does he defend his company, he defends the entire industry as a whole. I have never heard him say one bad word about another company, because saying something bad about another company is saying something bad about our industry, even if they're doing bad things. And he has held me accountable, and I haven't been as strong as him. I haven't been as mature as you.
I am MLMC. He's not yet.
I'm still working on it. Because my passion is different. The way I fight for my people. And there are some people, the same people that I fought for, they were on the verge of being terminated. And I would go to this company and I would say, if you terminate them, you're going to have to terminate me. And that's the type of manipulation and the type of fear that many companies instill on normal, ordinary, innocent people, just to create and establish a fear factor where you're afraid to take pictures with other people who are never marketing companies. For 10 years, I've had to justify every time I take a picture with my best friend. And he was my best friend before that company was a .com. I believe that Holton Bugs will be the owner that shakes the very foundation of the industry in a major disruptive way, where it's okay for us to be seen together and not be intimidated.
Yeah.
It's okay for him to call a company and say, hey, listen, I know you guys are in a financial jam. What would it take for us to get together? What do you need off the record? I'll sign a non-disclosure agreement. If it's $10 million, I'll write you a check for $10 million. Just pay me back when you can, because if your company goes out of business, it makes our entire industry look bad. See, I believe he's going to disrupt the industry in that fashion. And I'm saying all that to say this. I've built the same organization for the last 15 years. The company that I'm leaving now, I was a part of for 10 years. But it was a merger or an acquisition of an existing organization I had. So for the first time in 15 years, I'm starting over.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it, and here's why. I can't be slavery to my own success. I can't be a slave to my success. And what I mean by that is, I didn't join this industry to make $1 million a year. I joined this industry to make $1 million a month. His compensation plan with one position. I don't have to manipulate and have 4 or 5 different positions because I'm maxing out and then I have to get another position. That's frowned upon in this industry. That's frowned upon by agencies that don't like that. So he put together something where we don't have to play games. It's one opportunity, it's one position, and it's whatever you want to build it to. I'm excited to be teamed up with you. Our wives are excited that we're teamed up together. Nobody knew that I was going to make this announcement today. I did not know I was going to make this announcement today. But I felt led by God that it had to happen today. So I stand before you as someone who has generated more money in travel than he has. Over $1 billion in revenue in 10 years, and my team alone. I have no spillover. I built left, I built right. 100% of my organization is my lineage. I got a little bit of spillover here, though. First time. Oh, you could have done that.
Just a little bit.
I will say this. I know the travel space, and I know network marketing. I wouldn't walk away for something that's guaranteed to put my family in danger unless I was headed somewhere that's going to bring increase. And there's no doubt in my mind, walking away from what most people would call a lot is walking towards what most people will be able to leave an inheritance for their children's children. And I don't believe that's possible with where I'm coming from. The one thing about me is I shoot people straight, and I learned that from him. I hadn't always liked how straight he shoots it. But I learned from him, if you shoot straight, you don't have to remember what you said. It's so much easier to shoot straight. So I am here to build with you. I'm here to support as much as I can. And I'm here to take this company global in a major way. So for those of you who want to repeat rumors and make up false things about me, I'm still the same guy you clapped for. I'm still the same guy that you said, Johnny, your message changed my life. I'm still that same guy that you loved for a long time. I'm just wearing a different brand. My name hasn't changed. The industry hasn't changed. Just changed the brand. So if you loved me then, and you don't love me now, I'm going to say you never loved me at all. People say that he's the Michael Jordan of network marketing. I don't know anybody who's accomplished what he's accomplished as a distributor in the field, in the world. And I know a lot of people in this industry. And the reason I say he's the Michael Jordan of network marketing, I don't say it as a cliche. I say it because, in all due respect, I'm just going to shoot straight. When Michael Jordan said, I'm going to start my own shoe company, they laughed at him because he was an African American. There's only one reason it worked. It wasn't the leather. It wasn't the quality of the shoe. As a matter of fact, not only did he start his own shoe line, he put his freaking logo on the shoe. A silhouette of himself. Just to rub it in a little bit more. And there's only one reason it worked. Because it was Michael freaking Jordan. There's one reason this is going to work. There's one reason this company will go down in history as the fastest growing company, most significant growing company, most ground shaking company in the history of network marketing. There's only one reason it's going to work, and that's because of your founder, our owner, Mr. Hocus Pocus. You mark my words. You mark my words. And you remember I said that this day. I'm standing with you. Not as your equal, as someone who looks up to you in a way the words cannot articulate. I'm walking away from millions to walk towards billions. And I have leaders who are in this room right now. And I have leaders who are watching from around the world. Not one of them did I ask, follow me. Not one of them did I say, come with me. I didn't say that to any of them. The company I came from helped me because they started spreading rumors. And when you start spreading rumors about somebody who has integrity, people are going to call that person to see if it's true. And when they call me and I tell them the truth, and they say something like, can I come? My company is actually helping me build over here because you can't criticize a person who has integrity. The same people who said, you know, he's Messiah said crucify him 3 days later. Nothing has changed but the name of my company. There's been increase. There's been more. Get ready for a boom. Blockbuster wasn't paying attention. Blockbuster didn't have less movies. than Netflix. As a matter of fact, they had more. Blockbusters wasn't hurting financially. They were a global word. They just weren't paying attention to the signs of the time. And the signs of the time wasn't a card. It wasn't a membership card. The signs of the time was people don't want to leave their house to get what they want. And that's where we're headed. In my opinion, in my humble, accurate opinion, where I come from is Blockbusters. What I just did is Netflix.
Yeah.
It's not because he has better hotels. It's not because he has better airplanes than our previous company. It's not because they have, better, resorts. It's the same. It's the access point that makes the difference. He understands the signs of the time. He's not Blockbusters. He's Amazon. He's Netflix. He's Uber. And he's taking it to the world, to the masses. So I'm honored to be here before you. And I look forward to training on stages around the world and empowering you.
Yeah.
And teaching you everything I know and learning everything I can know. I want to learn from you and be a part of it. Thank you so much. Boom.